I'm back here down in Dartington again today, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've just driven down from Cheshire. It was very misty when I set off, but the mist's cleared and it's a beautiful day now. But what I'm just thinking about is in relation to a video I made yesterday when I was talking about scree running, which is this thing I used to do when I was a kid where you'd run down steep inclines that were made of scree or shale, and you just kind of let yourself go and run as fast as you can without falling over. In the course of making that, I kind of mentioned the word commitment. I didn't think I was going to talk about commitment, and I didn't really talk about it in that video, but I mentioned the word, and I've been thinking about that since. And I guess what's occurred to me is that when I think about this word commitment, or when I commit to something, when I feel myself going through some kind of cognitive process, which I call commitment, it's I'm kind of drawing on that feeling. Actually, I think I'm imagining myself sort of leaning forward at the top of a shale bank and just letting myself run forward down it, and letting what happens happen, and and all the things that kind of flow out of that experience. The kind of structure of the scree running experience is informing the structure of my understanding of commitment. And I think there's a couple of things that for me which are worth reflecting on for that. I mean, firstly, if I'd never had that experience of scree running, this is probably the most important thing actually. If I'd never ever done scree running, even to the limited extent I have done it, would my experience of commitment be different? Would I have that kind of a structured piece of cognition? And I suppose what I'm thinking about there is in terms of what's sometimes called image schema or kinesthetic image schema, which is this idea that comes out of comes out of all sorts of work really to do with cognitive linguistics and embodied cognition. And the idea of the image schema or the kinesthetic image schema is that we understand abstract concepts through a metaphorical mapping from concrete concepts, or more particular in this case, we organise and structure abstract phenomena, abstract ideas, in terms of the structure of physical experiences. And so really common ones that you find are things like journeys. A journey is something we all take every day. They're very simple, they have certain structures to them, they all have a source, they all involve walking across a path, passing various landmarks and then arriving at a goal. And we use that image schema to organise other entities which aren't quite so clear. So things like training programs, for example. A training program isn't, it's pretty abstract, it's hard to really understand it. So we understand that abstraction in terms of the concrete experience of journeys. So training programs typically have sources and they have goals, which we sometimes talk about the goals in terms of things like outcomes, as if you've come out at the end of something. We talk about them as courses, as if it's a course of a journey or a course of a road, the course of a river. And you have landmarks, so you might have assessment points, these points being points on the line that journey takes. And so what I'm thinking here, that's a really common image schema. So what I'm just thinking about here is something like scree running, and my experience of scree running, and a kind of slightly unusual image schema, or an image schema, kinesthetic image schema, which I guess is only available to those people who've actually done it, or something like it. And it then can then be drawn upon as a piece of architecture to structure abstract concepts like commitment, which otherwise would have to rely on something else. I don't know, maybe so. Some of the things about that which I think is quite interesting is that certainly my experience of scree running was a very positive experience. It was great fun apart from anything else. So I don't, and because I think that's informing some of my understanding of what commitment means, I associate commitment with fun and enjoyment and the kind of letting go that scree running involves. and that to a certain extent the roller coasters involved, that kind of thing. Whereas I suppose if my understanding of commitment was more like, I don't know, being bound to something, or being contained by something, perhaps I'll have a less positive relationship to the concept.